We go to book number 3. So it is a continuation of book 2. Now Satan is not leaving. Now he comes up with another temptation. So spoke the Son of God, and Satan stood as while as mute. Again, he was defeated. So earlier, food, again food, then kind of wealth. Now he is going for another method. Okay, why don't you, look for fame and glory? Because in this world, people need fame. People want to be known by others, and you have to attain glory. The reward that soul excites to high, attempts the flame. And he's actually talking about Christ. See, you are in your middle life, you're old, thy years are ripe and overripe. You know, you're an old man, you are in your middle age, and you are yet to attain fame in this world. Why don't you go for that? So he gives a lot of examples. Satan says, think of the son of Macedonian Philip. Macedonian Philip refers to Alexander. Think of that young boy who won Asia and the throne of Cyprus held at his disposal. Think of Alexander. He gained fame throughout the world. And think of another young Sisyphus, Scipio, had brought down the Carthaginian pride in Spain. So he won a war in Spain and he defeated that Carthaginians. Then you have young Pompey, emperor, quelled the Pontic king, Mithridates, Mithridates. Look at them, even Julius Caesar, but whom now all the world admires. The more he grew in years, the more inflamed with glory, wept that he had lived so long inglorious. Actually, Julius Christ was an old man. So when he got fame, he became too old to enjoy his glory. So he actually wept, I should have got this fame earlier. So that will happen to you. So don't wait for too long. So like Alexander, like young Sisyphus, like young Pompey, try to attain glory. So that's the temptation. Now, our Christ, our Savior calmly thus replied, thou neither dost persuade me to seek wealth. So earlier, you asked me to go after wealth. I didn't do that. Now you are asking me to go for glory and renown. But you know what is true glory and renown? When God looking on the earth with approbation marks the just man. God recognizes the just man, one who goes by his words, leads a righteous life. Example, Job. Job was rewarded for his faithfulness and loyalty. Thus he did to Job, right? When to extend his fame through heaven and earth. So at the end of his trials, Job was given everything, even a place in the heaven. And he got his wealth back and his children back, right? Similar way, God will reward me. I know that. So I don't need your worldly renown. That is not there. They err who count it glorious to subdue by conquest far and wide, right? So you talked about this guy, right? One is the son of Job. Alexander of Mars. Mars refers to god of war. So you have Romulus, the founder of Rome, or you have Alexander, the other. Till conqueror death discover them, scarce men, rolling in brutish vices and deformed, violent and shameful death their due reward. But look at their life. Throughout their life, they killed people. In order to attain fame, they lived in brutish vices. They killed millions. Do you think I want to attain glory by killing millions of people? I don't want such a shameful act. I don't want to do that. See, you have given a few examples, right? You have given examples of kings, but I can also give you examples of others who also attained fame worldwide. Glory out of good, by deeds of peace, by wisdom eminent, by patience and temperance. Who names not now with the honor patient Job? So now people also talk about Job. People also talk about Socrates. Poor Socrates, who next more memorable. We also think of Socrates. He didn't kill people. He simply taught the youth of Athens. All right. So we have already discussed Socrates. So Socrates was given that hemlock, a cup of hemlock to drink and die. because he believed in wisdom. So he believed in liberating the youth from mere thoughts given by others. So he asked them to think on their own, right? Because of this, so he sacrificed his life for a cause, true cause. So people still remember him, and equal in fame to proudest conquerors. So he gave only examples of conquerors, but there are also people who achieved fame because of this endurance. So we have Socrates. Even this could be a question. Next, to whom? So now Satan says, okay, think not so slight of glory, therein least resembling thy great father. He also seeks glory. See, you think as if no one seeks glory. So he comes up with an argument. Satan says, even your own father, he is actually known for, you know, creating people, this world and everything. Why is he doing that? Because he wants to be worshipped by these poor fellows. So that's why he has created this world and have, these people, so that all these people will worship him. So even your own great father seeks glory. Why don't you? You are a poor guy, you are only a son of your God father, so why don't you do that? Then to whom our Savior fervently replied, and reason, since his word all things produced, thou chiefly not for glory as prime end, but to show forth goodness. See, you have got the message wrong. God created this world not to be worshipped by people. So he wants to show goodness to people. He he wants people to care for others. So that is the ultimate purpose, not seeking glory. So you have got the message wrong. And these people have free soul. It's up to them to worship God. So it's not a forced one. So your argument is wrong. So now Satan says, okay, let it pass. Leave that argument. Okay. But to a kingdom thou art born, right? Actually, today, few days ago or 40 days ago, you were baptized, and there was your father who said to the world that you are going to rule the world, right? You are promised a kingdom in this world, ordained to sit upon thy father David's throne. Now think, how are you going to be a king when you are just a poor guy, a carpenter's son, that will not part easily from possession won with arms? Do you think you can easily rule this world with your peace? You have to take up arms, you have to fight, and you have to get your throne. A kingdom will not come to you. You have to get the kingdom. All right. So think of your kingdom. Your kingdom is called Judea, Judae. Judea, the kingdom is promised to you, the part of the land promised to you by God. But your own kingdom is now reduced a province under Roman yoke. The Roman emperor Tiberius is actually ruling your kingdom now. So if you want to rule your kingdom, the kingdom promised to you, you actually have to defeat Tiberius, right? Or else, how can you gain your kingdom? So you have to fight for your kingdom. It will not come to you easily. So our Savior says, all things are best fulfilled in their due time, and time there is for all things, truth had said. See, there is time for everything. Maybe now my kingdom, Judea, is being ruled by the emperor, but a time will come, he will fall and I will rule. I wait for that time. To whom the tempter said, oh my God, thy life hath yet been private, most part spent at home. You have no worldly knowledge. You are a poor fellow. You can't be a good ruler, because you have been with your mother and father making, tables and chairs, and you roamed around some part world and you have some followers. It doesn't mean that you know the world. You're a simple guy. I don't think you can rule the world. You need experience. Now look at you. So what happens now? After saying this, Satan took the Son of God up to a mountain high. Okay. So now both are at the top of the mountain, and Satan points out two rivers. There are two rivers, Tigris and Euphrates, Euphrates, flowed here, thou beloved Assyria. So now there is a kingdom called Assyria, and her empire's ancient bounds. So we have another river called Araxes, Armenian River, and Caspian Lake. It goes on and on. So now we are at the top of the mountain, looking at everything Indus east. On the east, we can see Indus Valley. So west, you have this river, Euphrates, and south, we have Persian Bay. And here we have the capital of Assyria. So Assyria was a kingdom at that time. So capital, Nineveh, Nineveh. Okay. So it was established by the old king, Ninus, Ninus. Okay. Now, king of Assyria. Now, who is the king of Assyria? Salmanasar, Salmanassar, whose success Israel in long captivity still mourns. Now there is a kingdom called Assyria. We have a king called Salmanasar, and Assyria was actually founded by Salmanasar's father Ninus. Now this king Salmanasar is a successful one, and he has been ruling Israel. So your job is to give freedom to Israelites, right? So look at the world before you. You are a poor fellow who spent most of your life at home. Come to reality. There, what you see is Babylon, and there Jerusalem laid waste. And look at that, till Cyrus set them free. So Jerusalem was actually won by a person called Cyrus. Then look at that, Persepolis, another kingdom, another city, his city, Cyrus city, and we have Bactra there. And we also have another kingdom called Parthian, and its capital, Hectompylus or Hectompylus, Hecatompylos. Look at that kingdom. So we have another kingdom. So on the one hand, we have Assyrian, another hand, we have Parthian kingdom, very powerful kingdom here. And all these, the Parthian, by great Arsaces, Sacces, led, who founded first that empire. So this empire, the Parthian empire, was founded by a king called Arsaces. Under his dominion holds, right, from the luxurious kings of Antioch I. So that king was known for conquering many domains under him. And just in time, thou comes to have a view of his great power. Look at here. Now Parthian king, the present king, is actually going for a war. So he is going to fight with the Scythians, Scythian. They are gathered here, has gathered all his host against Scythians. So there is going to be a war. The Parthian empire, or the emperor, the Parthian emperor is going against the Scythians, right? So this is the real world. So if you want your kingdom, you have to fight for it, and you have to extend your kingdom like the Parthian king. So this is actually the old map of Parthian empire. So it's near Asia. I mean, it's in Asia, near India. So what you see in the picture, so we have this Indus on one side. What do you see? Indus, if you look at the map, come to India, you have Madura, then near you have Indo-Scythians. So, and you have this picture here, Parthian. So this is the Parthian empire. Parthians, they are going to extend their empire by attacking the place in India, Scythians in a part of India. So now they are going to extend the empire, right? So now we can imagine somewhere, here there must be a mountain where we have Satan and Christ looking at the Parthian empire, and Scythians, they are going for war. Thy kingdom, unless thou endeavor, thou never shall obtain. So you have to fight for it. How could you hope long to enjoy it quiet and secure, right? So you have two enemies. Even if you get your own kingdom, Judea, you have two enclosing enemies. So on the one side, you have Romans. On the other side, you have Parthians. So I would suggest, so this is the empire, right? So just pay attention. From below, you have Alexandria. Near Alexandria, you can see Judea, Judae. So that is the kingdom promised to Christ. And Christ has to rule this Judea, but he has to face two major enemies. On the one side, you have Roman Empire, left. On the right, on the map, you have Parthian Empire. So you have two great emperors, and they will definitely attack you. How are you going to tackle that situation? Poor fellow. So Satan says, do not worry, I will help you rule your kingdom, and we have to start it now. I would say first attack the Parthian first, because Roman Empire, it's very vast. So you have to go for the Parthian first. It shall be my task. So do not worry, I take care of you. I take care of the Parthians, either by conquest or by league. We will go for war and defeat the Parthians, or we will speak to them and we will go for league. It's a kind of a pact agreement. And you have to remember, thy brethren, brethren means brothers, those 10 tribes, God's sons, they are now serving in his territory, in Habor, near the Euphrates, right? We have seen that river. In Habor, among the Medes in Parthia dispersed. Now, who are these 10 tribes? 10 sons of Jacob and 2 of Joseph, lost thus long from Israel. So even they are lost. Now they are serving as of old their fathers in the land of Egypt. Now they are slaves. So it is your job to release them. This offer sets before thee to deliver. So I am giving this offer final. So earlier you didn't want turn stones into food. I also offered you food. Then I offered you wealth. Then I offered you glory. Now I am actually offering you kingdoms. So the offer stands. It's up to you to take. You can release your brothers from slavery, and you can also rule your kingdom and defeat Parthians. What do you say? Then our Savior answered thus: of enemies, of aids and battles and leagues, I'm not interested. Okay, my time, I told thee, is not yet come. Say, time will come. I need not hurry, right? And I'm not interested in this cumbersome luggage of war. So in order to achieve this kingdom, attain this kingdom, now I have to go for war. And that is actually, of human weakness rather than of strength. Achieving this kingdom by war shows my weakness. I will, win this world through love, not, weakness. Not blood, not through blood. So this is Christ's argument. And you talked about those 10 tribes, Satan. Do not bother. Who was responsible for that? They were, these 10 tribes, they became slaves. Who was responsible? You are responsible, right? Do you think I don't know that? But whence to thee this zeal? I must deliver if I mean to reign David's true heir. I all understand. But suddenly you are concerned about these people. But you are the one who was responsible for their slavery. Suddenly there is a change of heart in you. I can't understand how you became a good person. Where was it then for Israel or for David or for his throne? So earlier you tempted the ruler David when thou stood up his tempter to the pride of numbering Israel. So you were the one who provoked David to go against these guys, right? So David, because of you, he killed the 70,010 Israelites by 3 days pestilence. Within 3 days, he killed millions. You were responsible for the death of a million people. And now they are in slavery because of you. Now suddenly you come to me and say that you are concerned about these slaves, but you are the one in the first place responsible for that. And as for other tribes, captive tribes, they who wrought their own captivity, they were responsible for their captivity. Why? Instead of worshipping God, they worshipped cows and deities of Egypt, Baal, Next, and Azeroth. Simply put, they are worshipping idols. God said you should not worship idols. You should worship true God. So you are actually worshipping, they were worshipping idols, right? So they deserve this. Let them serve their enemies who serve idols with God. So it is their fault. They should recognize a true God. Remembering Abraham, they should remember their father Abraham, and they should come back to worshipping God. So now that's their problem. So, and the Red Sea and Jordan, once he cleft, went to the promised land their fathers passed. To his due time and providence, I leave them. Definitely, these people will be rescued by God as he did once. Okay, so I need not worry about them. My time is yet to come. So spoke Israel's true king. Okay, so with this, the this book comes to an end again. Satan is defeated.